that kind of situations for using the blockchain.
Did you hear the question?
Wait, I'm just setting up everything for the live stream. Okay, now we're live. Okay. Could you please repeat the question?
Yeah, I was talking about merger and acquisition situation.
Within a deal, a blockchain kind of, a deal with a third arbitrary, and how it's done practically.
So you're asking about the private key?
No, technical question about government law.
Okay, I'm completely missing the context here. So you're talking about when you set up a contract in Pangea?
I can email this to you and take it later.
Christophe, could you maybe type the message because it's like bad audio?
Yeah. Tell him I can write it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll forward the question. I give you my.
Well, I have a question regarding jurisdictions and conflicting laws. How do you have resolutions for that? I mean, if like the pizza nation doesn't want to have pepperoni on the pizza and the burger nation allow pepperoni on the burgers, how do you resolve that kind of problems?
You're talking about different law systems and different voluntary nations on Pangea, right?
Can you repeat?
You're talking about different law systems and different voluntary nations on Pangea, right?
Exactly.
So the idea is that no one is forced to comply to the law of a nation that he doesn't belong to. So obviously, if the law systems of two different voluntary nations don't work out well with another, you would not be able to do the same thing in both voluntary nations. So you would have to choose one of them because they're having conflicting laws. But in any case, the nations would be interested in resolving disputes between their citizens to avoid, let's say, infights and to satisfy their customers, because that's how businesses actually arrange deals and agreements between each other. You can imagine also like insurance companies also have a sort of back insurance between one another in case there's some cases between these two insurance companies. So in the same way, voluntary nations could also have some sort of back agreements when there's conflicts between their citizens.
Okay, thank you.
So, any other questions for Eric here? It's talking from Athens, and it's quite late there. It's 10 o'clock, isn't it?
No, it's yes, it's 9. It's 9.
It's 9 o'clock. Okay, so yes, so well.
Just a quick question about. I mean, we already see today. We see like jurisdiction arbitrage. Like you just pick the jurisdiction that's most beneficial to you for like a specific purpose, right? Then what's stopping people from just like basically just taking all the benefits from one jurisdiction and then like just hopping between jurisdictions whenever when it suits you? How could you build? What's there to kind of bind it to build like solidarity between like long-term solidarity more than tokens? I mean, I know you have tokens for that, but I mean, in the end,
Christophe, could you repeat the question, please, because the audio is kind of lost on the because of the phone.
The short version is that what's stopping people from just kind of jurisdiction dealing with like jurisdiction arbitrage? They just pick the jurisdiction that gives them the most benefit at the moment for whichever contract or whichever activity they're engaged in. Did you hear that?
I don't understand something about jurisdiction, and the rest I don't understand.
So you just talk to the computer.
Okay. So, what's stopping people from just choosing like the good parts from one jurisdiction and then just hopping between jurisdictions and just choosing the good parts? You know what I mean?
Well, first of all, you, even without belonging to any nation, can just choose sort of code of law for the agreement, like for particular agreements that you create. So you could, for example, use a law system like just for one specific service provider, but at the same time use a different code of law for a different provider. So you do not have to belong to like in the existing world today, where you just have to belong to one size fits all model, where you can only have this one law system for all of the deals and things that you do in your whole lifetime, basically. So there you can choose, like you can use customized laws for particular parties involved in any contract. So yes, you can basically cherry pick because that's how markets work, because you just take what you need and you leave out what you don't like. And also the reputation, so laws will also have reputation, which are called proof of nomic. I don't know if Christophe told you this because I didn't get the rest of the presentation, but there are 3 different reputation tokens on Pangea that will be worked out in the future and over the next year. So the first reputation is, maybe you heard, for citizens themselves. So whenever they complete the contract, they will get POA tokens, which are non-tradable. And these serve to help you figure out who you can trust or who is a trustworthy business partner. And also, the reputation tokens are not given through humans, but through an AI bot that can also filter out Sybil attacks. So it would detect in a way if you set up fake accounts to just push your own reputation. The other reputation that I wanted to point out here is proof of nomic, which is a reputation that laws can get. So the better or the worse a law, and this is a reputation that can be given by humans. So the better a law, the better the reputation, and the more people will use it. So yes, it's made in a way that people should cherry pick the ones that they like, or the ones that they seem most practical for the things that they do in their daily life. But there could also be other laws that should be used for specific contexts. So yeah, you can say that you can end up just using some law from one nation or another law from another nation, depending on the agreements that you make.
So yeah, so you choose kind of the nation and how you want it build up. You know, you're going to have a personal nation within different jurisdictions, and you know, things you like or things you know you're interested in. You're interested to be one nation or what you like to be another one, but still you're going to have it. The sum of it is like you asked the question. You know, you're going to have different jurisdictions and different nations at the same time, and the answer is yes. Kind of technically kind of hard to work out, and we're not there at this moment, at this point of time. But you know, going forward, you're gonna get there.
I still think there's a problem with like common goods and things like that. Because I mean, if you can cherry pick, there's no incentive to build any kind of common goods like within this jurisdiction, right? Or
What do you mean common goods?
Well, common goods would be things like you don't. Like in the jurisdictions we have today, we have, at least in Europe, we have health insurance and things like that. Yeah. So I pay a lot of taxes, we also get health insurance and things like that. So
yeah, we do.
I'd like to maybe have Swedish health insurance, but maybe pay like tax in Estonia or like that. You know, it's like, I think it'd be difficult to build a self-sustaining jurisdiction if it's so easy to cherry pick.
Wait, you're talking about taxes now?
Yeah, I'm just saying that you also. I mean, there's more.
I can also add something about taxes. So ideally, nations can also design no, it's not ideally, it's already sure. Nations will be able to create their own ERC20 tokens for their citizens. And you can also design a sort of flat tax whenever you trade this token. So this could be used for a government budget. So whenever their citizens make any interactions or anything, that the citizens agreed to do within this nation, there could be some sort of deduction from each transaction, like a sort of transaction tax. That could be used instead of the way we have taxes today. So also when people may use this nation's laws, there might also be this kind of token required, which would also include this tax. So you do have ways to incorporate tax also in the system.
Okay.
The big difference is that this is a voluntary tax for nations that you voluntarily choose, and not something that you're forced to pay just by happen to be born in some place in the world. So here we just have a big experiment of many parallel systems and let's say ideal societies where people all over the world can figure out for themselves what they like the best and how they want it to be, instead of having to leave everything behind just to choose a different governance service provider. I mean, to go to a different country, maybe to even go through a hardship because you have a bad passport, or maybe not even being able to open the company because you don't happen to be born in Europe. So there's many things wrong in the existing system, and so that's the very reason why we offer a non-geographic market for governance services, to enable people all over the world to enjoy good governance services without any regards for where they just happen to be randomly born, which is not, let's say, very egalitarian. And I mean, also independently from what ideology you have, I mean, this is the place where everyone can create like the society that they seem as the best for organizing with people they trade with, or people they want to engage in daily life with. So yeah, I mean, maybe it will be a hard transition in the beginning, and we will need government, also nation states recognition in order to let's say have some sort of respect for the agreements that are being done for Pangea. But in the long term, we think that nation states will also be using Pangea, because this is the future. Because in the long run, governance is not going to survive if it's going to work geographically only. Like Estonia also already starts to provide their services globally. Other nation states will also want to start to do this, and they can do this for Bitnation. So this is also a sort of transition strategy to make business with existing nation states, provide them a basis to offer their services, but voluntarily, not by forcing them to pay taxes. And to, in this way, have a sort of win-win situation where they will start using Bitnation and recognize us this way. And on the other side, you know, we don't make it like us or you. You know, we can make it like a win-win situation where we both can exist in parallel. Our new system and the existing nation-state system, where they just evolve instead of having to go on.
The sound is not the best. So when you talk, we miss out for I don't know, it's bad internet, it's kind of, well, anyhow. We have some more questions in the crowd, and you wanted to ask something, and here we go.
Yeah, so my question would be, who is actually enforcing certain laws? So let's say, take the example of the police. If I'm living in Singapore, but the jurisdiction is, I don't know, it's mostly driven by people which are in a totally different place, and I need protection.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to take that, actually? How is that going to work? And it's the same.
So one question is contract enforcement, the other one is physical protection, right?
Sorry? Can you say again?
The one question was how is contract enforcement handled on Pangea, and the other question is how to provide physical defense, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So first of all, for contract enforcement, we use a totally different motivation, let's say, for enforcing contracts than in the existing like law system, where basically you threaten people to comply with laws, and if they don't, they will be put in a cage, or their houses will be seized. So in our system, or basically in how Pangea works, contracts are enforced basically through escrow, through having a financial incentive to comply with the law, or else you will lose the collateral that you put in the multi-signature wallet. So you will do your agreements not simply by advancing money to someone when you, for example, order a product, but the money will be locked in smart contracts, which requires a lot of free keys in order to be unlocked. So, for example, if the guy is not providing the things that he offered to do, or if there's something weird going on, you will be able to call upon the arbitrator, who will then decide who was wrong or what actually happened, and if the money should be sent like it was originally said to the guy who sent the product, or if it should be called back to the buyer. So you have this not only the financial incentive, but also when you fail with the contract, you have basically you do not earn the reputation for completing the contract. So we have both things. We have the financial incentive for actually getting the money, because you will not be able to run away without doing nothing, because it's locked in a multi-signature wallet. And the other thing is that you need a good reputation to be able to attract clients on Pangea. You will only get those reputation tokens by actually completing contracts. And about physical defense, so there's a third-party app that is already being developed right now, which is called The Umbrella. And they are providing a peer-to-peer security market where you can basically buy defense and protection services anywhere in the world from individuals. And they have all kinds of things that you might need. It might be cybersecurity, it might be bodyguards, it might be protecting someone else's property, it might be or helping you to get from one place to another in dangerous tourist areas. Like you could think of many potential services that security specialists can provide. And so this is literally just like Bitnation, a new market that is being created, because before this was only done through agencies, which are very high cost, which have a huge paperwork behind them, and it's only attractive for high income customers. But the umbrella targets specifically people with low income, to be able to provide the same or even better security service that your current government gives to you.
Okay, you're satisfied? Yes. Okay, so any further questions? You haven't heard, the the whole story, so I'll tell you later. But, if you're satisfied, this is not about the platform yet, because I'm not that good at it. So I'm going to have to study some more, and we're going to have a new meetup, and I talk more about the platform, how it works out. So thank you so much for your participation tonight, and enjoy Athens.
All right.
Good.
And I hope really people there who are interested in Bitnation, you just keep sending me questions. Like also after the meetup, feel free to contact me on Facebook or on Meetup or wherever. I'm also in the Meetup group. So yeah, please, whenever you come up with something else, let me know.
That's great. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. Good night.
Okay.
Good night.
Good night.